But what do you make of it? I mean, do you think it's, let me start with you on this, Eric, possible that they're trying to make it harder than it actually needs to be?
Sure. Maximum shutdown pain available. President Obama's. First of all, do we feel like it's like The Bachelor over here? Are we? How do we get the? How do we get the?
No, I'm going to get to that. I should tell you now that in like 3 minutes, I'm going to ask you whether there have been any hookups among the cast members.
Oh,
you know,
Lord.
so you just mull that over.
Bob and I are getting married.
Mull that over.
I'm going to think about my answer.
Well, you two are all right. Are single, right?
That's so good. Just smart.
Okay, we'll get to that. Go ahead, Eric.
Stay on that.
Let's stay. You really got us off it.
Congratulations on your wonderful new show.
Thank you.
Looks fantastic. Yeah, maximum shutdown pain available. Close an ocean. Have Amber, the Amber website, go down for a while, and you bring in a furloughed person to come in and change that.
Like the memorials. The memorials were not shut down during the last government shutdown. You know, like the ones that are open air that you can just access with your feet or your wheelchair, they were not shut down, but now suddenly
Did you say close the oceans?
He closed the ocean.
He said that already today, too.
Yeah. He closed the ocean for a while.
Yes.
I see.
how do
You missed that when Bowling said that today.
I'll tell you.
How exactly is that done? I've been on maternity leave for a long time. Have they changed the
I don't know if they're
oceans?
deliberately trying.
Have I been gone that long?
Are they deliberately trying to inflict pain, or is it just the government getting it wrong? I think it could be a little bit of both. They showed up at Mount Vernon last week, which they didn't know was privately funded. They brought these sandbags and they're trying to shut it down. Turns out, can't shut it down.
Humiliating.
Hey, there's
I
one
know, it's
simple answer to
embarrassing
this.
for them.
You know, all you conservatives, there's one answer. If Boehner had the guts to bring that CR to a vote on Monday and tomorrow, and it would see if it passes. If it doesn't pass, fine. Then you got pain inflicted. But he doesn't have the courage to bring it. Why?
But what do you make of it, Bob? Because, you know, it's the Rahm Emanuel, never let a crisis go to waste. I mean, is that what they're doing here?
Well, look, the Republicans' negatives are gone up about 10 or 15 points. As I say, that's no waste.
Yeah.
I mean, look, do I think there are people suffering real pain here? This is not funny, but the Republicans don't understand that. I mean, they just want to continue to go because of these crazy
Bob, the
Tea Party
Republicans have
people.
passed bills to take care of all this pain
Oh, yeah,
that you
we've
keep
seen that
talking about.
strategy before.
Democrats want the pain to happen,
But
so
they're
they
losing
can
in the polls.
politically use
That
it.
latest political poll that just came out, it was released at 9 p.m. Eastern, shows that the GOP is hurting more than the Democrats and President Obama are when it comes to this issue. They're blaming the Republicans. So the question is, you know, what's the end game? Does this work out for them ultimately?
The blame game so far in terms of the polling and percentage. We'll see if that trend continues, but they're going to have to make a decision as to whether or not to hold their position or whether or not they can get some kind of compromise that is going to be acceptable to their constituents.
The Tea Party folks are saying, God bless Ted Cruz. It's about time somebody had a spine and took a stand, and we don't care that the party faithful don't like him. I have to move on to more important matters. Miley Cyrus apparently has made a lot of news while I've been out. And I'm interested to know what you guys think, A, of her behavior, because there's a lot of beautiful women on this panel, but B, of this assertion she made. Wait your turn. And B, with this assertion she made to Matt Lauer, awkwardness today.
Is this a phase? Is the sexual side of you that we're seeing a lot of right now something that's going to be here for a while and then move on to something else?
Well, I heard when you turn 40, things start to go a little less sexual. So probably around 40, around that time, I heard that's when people don't have sex anymore. So I guess maybe around then.
Do you know how old I am?
I'm going to guess 40. You don't.
I love you again. 55.
55. Oh, well, then you're really definitely not sexual.
What is that about? Look at Bob's loving it.
She clearly doesn't know where
I got no comment on that, Miley, baby.
No.
I'm glad
Bob wants to take it. Let Bob take it.
No, they asked me not to say anything about this because they want to sound like I was saying, listen to this woman who dances like she's a cheerleader for a prostitution ring, and she's telling me about you did have sex after 40. Miley, I'll tell you what, I got no comment on that, babe. None.
Except the one I just made.
And that was the same for Bob, okay? He gets tickled over this whole Miley situation, but I just think it's really sad. I think there actually may be some kind of mental health issue going on with her where you see her behavior and she's like decompensating, starved for attention. I think it's more than just the Mickey Mouse Club gone bad. You know, where are her parents? I think she needs some help. It's sad.
I saw some of her early sort of transitions from Hannah Montana to this sexy girl, and I thought, okay, you know, that's fine. That's a part of people's sexuality. That's part of their personality. But it's really gone over to this sort of just in-your-face.
And bizarre.
Right? It's starting to make people feel uncomfortable.
I remember when she came to the Easter egg roll, and she was going to be one of the performers as Hannah Montana, and everybody that worked in the White House, if they had kids, their kids wanted so badly to come to the Easter egg roll for Hannah Montana, and I didn't have any idea who that was. I barely know who she is now. I think about that interview, and how awkward it would be for Matt Lauer to actually ask that.
Yeah.
I pick up every magazine she's in it. So I actually really don't care what she does, but clearly it's selling something.
Well, can I just say this for the record? There apparently was some study recently that said sex life does become more satisfying for women after age 40, but it may be because they no longer want to have it and they're not having it, and therefore they feel satisfied. I don't know.
What does it say about men
This is it.
over 40?
Well, I mean, who do you think they're looking to have the sex? Okay, but wait.
I'll let you know when I hit 40.
Okay. Wait, but speaking,
that
since
was
you
gonna be
volunteered,
my answer.
so now I want to
I
get to
don't
the
know.
nitty-gritty of the 5. Enough about the news of the day. Okay, so let's find out. Have there been any hookups at all on the show? Anybody
Well,
want
Bob
to cop
and
to
I
that?
don't like to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like years ago?
Yeah, right.
When Bob was still drinking?
Let's put it this way. Eric keeps asking me what it's like, and that's all I can say. Eric is married to a lovely, lovely woman who I tried to pick up, by the way, the first day of the show.
That's a true story.
That is true.
How about
Not for me.
Does anybody not get along?
It's like a family.
You bicker?
Eric's not here.
We bicker like a
Sometimes
family.
I'm going to
do?
strangle them.
That's what makes
felt
it
that
work.
All the time, I love
Everybody
them.
fights with Bob, but he kind of likes it. It's a weird, psychological condition in the
Yeah.
DSM-4
No, but
called the Beckledness.
it really is the best chemistry. It started out that way. It hasn't changed. I'm an Alcoholics Anonymous. We have this thing about, let a grudge carry on more than a day.
Yeah.
We don't let it carry on more than a week.
Can I point one
More
thing
than
out?
a segment.
There's an issue. There's an issue. There's something. We have a new verb. It's called being beckled or getting beckled.
Which happens.
You know what that means?
every
No, it
If
doesn't.
you tell Bob something in the break,
Yeah.
in the commercial break, the first thing out of his mouth, doesn't matter what the topic
Is
is,
that.
he tells the story.
It's like
So can I beckle Bob right now?
Yeah, go for it.
Wow.
On the Miley Cyrus thing, Bob said sex over 40 gets better, and he has a lot of it.
I didn't really need to know that. I wish I had ceded the floor on
that's
that.
too much information. By the way,
Here's what I
speaking
want to
of
ask
which,
you.
I'm not going to repeat the fact you haven't a
having these
colonoscopy because
conversations
it worked, right?
like you have with these guys
Well.
when you were White House press secretary for President Bush.
No, I did not ever anticipate this fantastic, wonderful opportunity. I didn't know what I was going to do. I tried to do the traditional route of the PR firm, and
realized that was too boring for you.
it didn't really fit for me. And then hadn't met several of the people when we sat down to tape the pilot for the 5. I'd never met. Like, I'd never met Greg before that day, even though he says he asked me to be on Red Eye one time. And
I was going to say,
blew him off.
did you at least
Snubbed him.
pretend for his ego? Does President Bush watch The Factor?
The Factor?
The Factor, The 5,
The
anything?
5.
The File?
I don't know if he watches
Which
The
is
Factor,
her-
but I
Is he
know
a Kelly
watches
File?
The 5.
Yes.
He'll watch
Well,
The File,
now.
and
I'm trying
I
to
know
get that
the
going.
41s watch The 5.
Who does?
The 41s.
41s.
They
watch
do?
it,
Yes, that's our code for President
That's
Bush.
You know
3
that
X.
Kimberly had a colonoscopy?
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, and it was
Everybody
successful.
should.
It was successful, but thank God it was
This is
successful.
The worst part is the prep.
Of the commercial break.
Listen, you have to do it. It's for your own health.
That's
And your
exactly
children,
right.
And for the safety of
And the
That's right,
last
it's for
thing
your
before I
children.
went under, the guy was talking to me at Bob, and I was like, oh, no.
Hey, I'm the one who
He's
got
like,
on
"No,
the
I
table for a
That is like when I
colonoscopy,
had
they
my.
called it
That's
off.
like when I had my baby, and the guy was putting the epidural in, and you're like a beach whale
Right.
sitting there, and he's like, I am a huge Fox fan, and you're like your naked bottom, enormous is like.
By the way, congratulations to your
I just
husband.
have the shot.
Tell your husband he did a lot of hard work, and I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh.
What?
He can hear you.
He's right here.
Good work, my man. I know it was a tough 9 months for you.
This is getting out of hand. I gotta go. See you 5 p.m.
Hey,
Eastern.
congratulations on your show, the kid.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all
Congratulations.
so much for being here.